Good evening. I'm Matt at TSPcalc. This is a casually thrown together video. I just wanted to talk about some of the technical things that are going on with my website right now, just so you're all aware. First of all, when it comes to TSPcalc, my number one priority is keeping my website online and data accurate. That's the number one priority. If there's a problem with the database, I stop everything else and I go fix the database. If there's a bug, I will stop everything and go fix the bug, depending on what it is. If it's a bug that affects the core services, such as data integrity or SMS alerts, then I get right on it. If it's a bug like, hey, I clicked on this button and nothing happened, then it might be a lower priority. But my basic priorities are: number one, keeping the website online. Number two is customer service. I get a lot of emails. Well, not a lot, but more than I used to. And since it's my number two priority, that keeps me from getting to number three, which is development. I spend more and more time answering emails now, and often it is my fault, and I know about it, and it's for things that have been going on since the very beginning of the website. I'm running into a lot of scaling issues because it's growing rapidly, and soon I'm going to have to upgrade to either a dedicated server or a cloud-based server. I have not yet decided which is the right fit for me and my website. So for the time being, we're stuck where we started, which is a shared hosting service, which is less than ideal. I started there because it was cheap and I didn't think this website was going to grow like it has in the last 3 years. It's kind of phenomenal how much it's grown. People seem to like it, which is good. So it's time for an upgrade. So that's one thing that I have to work on. Another technical thing that I'm working on is background updates. Another admin called it seamless updates. Basically, right now, once per day, when the TSP publishes their new share prices, my website goes offline to recalculate all of the statistics for every strategy. And that process takes a significant amount of time. And like I said, in the current process, the website just goes offline, and it looks like it's taking almost an hour. So there's actually a second website. There's a clone of the website that is called Beta TSPcalc that only me and 6 other people have access to. And that's where I am fixing this issue right now. So I've already written code to do background in the update. Basically what's happening is it takes the existing database and it copies it. As soon as the TSP posts share price, my server is going to take the existing database and make a copy of it. And then it's going to update the copy while the original database is still serving the website. And then once the update is complete, it's a matter of swapping the databases out, and it happens in an instant. And that works fine. That's already working. What's not working is while I was rewriting my update code in order to do that, I decided to make my update code more efficient as well. And I'm still having issues with the calculations that it's spitting out. The comparisons I'm doing right now is I will take a strategy statistics table from the live website, and I will copy it over to the beta website, and I will have beta recalculate it, and then I look at the differences. And that's been eye-opening. Just because I get some things wrong, and it's a matter of finding a problem and fixing it in the beta site, and I'm going through all this testing so that when I do finally move it over to live, it'll be ready to go and we won't have any headaches, hopefully, or at least I will have solved most of them. So background update is in the works. It's 90% complete. I would expect that to be released before January 1st. Another thing that's on the beta site right now that isn't on the live site is a commonly requested feature for an easy way to add your watch list strategies to the benchmark field. So I already built that, and that appears to be working great. Me and the beta testers have used it. We like it. And how that manifests itself is you actually go to the seasonal calculator page, and right next to the benchmark field, you can click a button that says My Watch List, and it's a little pop-up inside the browser, and it shows you your watch list, and each strategy on your watch list has a checkbox next to it, and you select the ones you want and click OK, and it drops them in the benchmark field for you, so you do not have to type them in manually. That seems to be working fine, and that'll be released with the next large site update. Email. Email has always been a problem because I'm using a shared host. Especially government and military email filters, they do not like email from shared hosts. So I am trying to get the email service off the server. I'm trying to use a third party to send emails just like I use a third party to send SMS. And I'm not done with that process yet. Another issue with using a shared host is they're not super responsive. So I asked them to update a couple of records so that I can move the email off to a third party, and I asked them to do that a week ago and they still haven't done it. So you get what you pay for. I need to migrate the site off of this shared host, and I've known that for a while, but that's just one more thing for me to worry about right now. So I need to update my web server. I need to get background update working. Along with background update is more efficient, faster updating, and that is almost working. I'm still testing it. The benchmark by watch list seems to be working fine, and that'll roll out soon. Email, I don't know when that's going to be resolved. I'm like I said, I'm working on it, and it's the same reason that Hotmail users have to add TSPcalc.com to their safe senders list. It's all because the email is coming from a shared host, and something like 90% of the spam on the internet comes from shared hosts. So the easiest way to stop spam is to block all shared hosts, and unfortunately I'm one of them. So I'm working on that. SMS has recently been a problem, and what I found out is I'm supposed to be using what's called a short code, which is like those 5-digit phone numbers that you see promotional campaigns using, like text football to 51515 and enter the sweepstakes to earn a hat. Per the regulations, I'm supposed to be using that because my website is deemed application to peer messaging, and it's supposed to use a short code. The problem with that is that a short code costs $1,000 a year, and there doesn't seem to be any cheaper alternative. So I'm trying to get around that, but the problem is that the cell phone carriers specifically filter out messages that they think are application to peer messages. So getting around those filters is a gray area. It's not very well defined. I recently switched to a toll-free number, so text message alerts are going to start coming from 1-844 phone number. That should help. It seems to have helped in my testing. I don't know how long that solution is going to last, and I can't afford to spend $1,000 a month on a short code. So that solution is in progress as well. Hopefully it's working now, and we'll just have to see going forward. What else? There's another tool that I wanted to develop, and I wanted to develop it a long time. It's not seasonal in nature. It's called the Modular Retirement Calculator. That's what I'm calling it. So it's going to be very similar to the TSP.gov's How Much Will My Savings Grow calculator, which is great. It's a very good tool. I highly recommend you use it. The only thing is mine will be better. That's the plan. And in addition to looking at thrift savings, it's going to be modular in nature. So on the modular retirement calculator that I'm planning on developing, you can select which modules you want. So you check a box that says TSP, and it pops up with a big form for you to fill out with all your TSP information so that it can calculate that and show you the graphs and tables. And then if you check another box for the module for Social Security, same thing. Here's a Social Security form to fill out so we can estimate your Social Security payouts and throw those on the graphs and tables. And then if you want to check the box for FERS, then you can enter some information in there and it'll calculate your FERS information and add that to the graphs and tables. So the vision is excellent. And it would be a lot better than what TSP.gov offers. The problem is that I am just time strapped. So in addition to all the other things that I just told you about, which are unique to TSPcalc, I do work full time for the Navy. And in addition to that, I am a real estate investor, which I have been for a while. And I'm slowly coming to terms with the fact that I can't do it all. So my wife and I are buying a rental house right now, and I'm going to be spending most of December working on that and hopefully be done. And after that, I don't really want to do real estate anymore. I've done well financially, but TSPcalc.com is taking so much of my free time that I don't think I can do both any longer. Also, on a time constraint note, I need to start hiring people to do certain aspects of things. Right now, I do everything related to TSPcalc. I'm doing the books, I'm doing the customer service, I'm doing the development, I'm doing bugs, and I'm dealing with all of the services. I'm dealing with the SMS issue. Everything. I do all of it in my free time. So that's adding up. I've been saying for a long time that I was going to make instructional videos, and honestly, I'm not very good at recording videos, and I'm not very good at editing. I mounted this whiteboard behind me. It says Happy Thanksgiving on it right now with a drawing of a pilgrim and a turkey. You're welcome. So I mounted this whiteboard so that I would make videos, and that hasn't happened. The one I made the other day about Roth isn't always better. Someone pointed out that I figured the tax incorrectly. The correct answer is that Roth and traditional, in a fair comparison, are exactly the same after all taxes are paid. So I remade that video yesterday, and on my third take, I thought I nailed it, and it turns out on my third take, somehow I had configured the microphones wrong. And after 25 minutes of talking and doing whiteboard demonstrations and I nailed it, I went to watch the video and it sounds horrible. Like I cannot put that online, so I get to do that all again. Anyway, I just wanted everybody to know what's going on. There are a lot of technical challenges that I'm walking right into. Oh, and since I am back living in Washington State, now TSPcalc is a business based in Washington State, and that means that very soon I have to start charging Washington State sales tax to everyone who is a user in Washington State. And that is insanely complicated to do because I am supposed to charge the sales tax rate of whatever jurisdiction the customer is in. So I cannot use my own local sales tax rate. Per Washington State law, I have to use the sales tax rate where my customer is located. And you can't just go by zip code because that's not accurate enough, which means that I have to start asking for a full address if you're in Washington State so that I can compare that against a tax table, figure out what your tax rate is, and throw it on the invoice. And I got to figure out how to do this on top of everything else. So if you email me and I don't get back to you within 24 hours, just know it's not personal. I still, through all of this, I've maintained a very good email response time. I think I'm probably under 48 hours on just about everybody. And hopefully if I can resolve some of these issues, like email particularly, then the amount of customer service requests that I get will go down because a lot of the messages that I get are related to email problems. So scaling is causing me a lot of headaches. I'm working on it, and thanks for using TSPcalc. Happy Thanksgiving.